All right, so to start off learning about objective, subjective, and possessive pronouns, I'd like you to create a graphic organizer. This is the organizer that I created. All you need to do is pick up a piece of plain paper, fold it into 3 parts, and you're going to label it at the top. You can see I put objective pronouns on the left, subjective pronouns in the middle, and possessive pronouns on the right. I also have their definitions there, but you can add those later. Then what you're going to want to do is about a third of the way down the page, you're going to label a place for examples for all 3 columns. And then at the bottom, you're going to label a place for an example sentence for all 3 columns. So go ahead and maybe you want to pause this at this point so that you can construct your organizer. Again, it needs to have 3 columns, objective on the left, subjective pronouns in the middle, possessive pronouns on the right column, and then just to label examples and sentence like I have them there. A little bit bigger for you. Okay, so we're going to start with subjective pronouns. Subjective pronouns are those pronouns that perform the action in a sentence. So they're actually doing something. Examples here are I, you, he, she, we, they, and who. So take a minute and on your graphic organizer, the perform the action in a sentence goes underneath subjective pronouns because that's what they do. Examples, you'll write the pronouns I, you, he, she, we, they, and who under examples. So any noun performing the main action in the sentence, like these pronouns, is a subject and is categorized as subjective case. So if you haven't written in the highlighted, the yellow print in your organizer, you'll need to pause the video and catch up, and then you can push play. So your example sentence here is, I make lunch every Saturday for the baseball team. In this sentence, I is the subject pronoun performing the action of making lunch. So you're going to want to write this whole entire sentence where it says sentence on your graphic organizer, and you're going to circle I. I is definitely a subjective pronoun because you're doing that action, right? Making lunch. Remember that subject nouns are always the actors in sentences. If action's implied, you should use subject nouns. Okay, so moving on to objective pronouns. So object pronouns are those pronouns that receive the action in a sentence. Again, you're writing those highlighted words, those yellow words, as the definition, receive the action in a sentence. They are me, you, him, her, us, them, and whom. So go ahead and write your example pronouns in there. Any noun receiving an action in the sentence, like these pronouns, is an object and is categorized as an objective case. If you need more time to write down these yellow words here, you can pause the video here. The example sentence, I give them lunch every week. In this sentence, I is the subject pronoun performing the action of the making verb. So there are 2 pronouns here. I and them are pronouns, but we're looking for the objective pronoun, and that would be them. So we're going to circle them in the sentence after we write it. Them is actually receiving the giving. It is the object. You wouldn't ever use a subject noun after give here. Okay, the following incorrect sentence should sound incorrect. I give they cookies every week. We wouldn't say that. Okay, we know that sounds wrong. So take a second and write in that sentence and circle them if you haven't had a chance. And then finally, we're going to talk about possessive pronouns. Possessive pronouns show possession or ownership. So here are some examples. My, mine, our, ours, his, her, hers, their, theirs, it's, your, yours. So take a minute and write both the definition and the examples in your graphic organizer. Pause it at this point if you have not completed that. And then the example sentence. My pencil rolled across the floor during the test, causing me to get in trouble. As you can see, there's also two pronouns in this sentence, my and me, but only one of them is a possessive pronoun. The possessive pronoun my shows who owns the pencil. So after you write this kind of lengthy sentence, you want to circle the word my. Okay, so hopefully your graphic organizer is completed, and if not, you'll have to replay the video to complete your graphic organizer.